Welcome to Cherryblossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman. This is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. Please join me. I hope you're wearing something comfortable and loose. And if this is your first time, do what you can. We don't allow any pain or overexertion. Just follow along with the breathing and the stretching and the movements and the postures, which are known as asana. Lately, I've been really concerned about posture, not just for myself, but for my students. And sooner or later, as you know, gravity gets to you. And if you have a tendency to hunch forward and lean forward, and since most of our everyday actions are forward movements, driving, typing at the computer, washing dishes, it's a lot of forward movement. So the back muscles between the shoulder blades and through the shoulders get overstretched. And these muscles are not pulled back enough to keep them toned. And little by little, as those muscles become stiffer and these remain overstretched, you start to see the dowager's hump, or the rounded back, kyphosis. So I've been, through the study of yoga, I've been looking at different ways to remind people, or to kind of remind myself how to stand up straight. And if you notice that a lot of people, or maybe you do this too, place your hands here while you're waiting in line, or you're thinking about something or talking to someone. And again, this is a forward movement, and the shoulders are rolling forward and sinking down. And recently, maybe in the past year, I've been watching, maybe 2 years, the limited series on Queen Victoria and some of the other series on the royals from the 1800s and 1700s. And if you notice, of course, the women are probably wearing corsets, and maybe there's a piece of wood on the back to help them stand up. But if you notice where they keep their elbows, it's right at their hips. And I've been trying to say to myself, elbows to hips, because that automatically brings me back up. Now, the next thought is to keep the breastbone lifted, or at least notice where your breastbone is. So if you find that you're standing like this, you're hunching forward, or you're seated like this, bring your elbows to your hips and notice how that can help you straighten up. Another thing to think about is that the head starts to move forward. So if you can retract your jaw slightly, that helps everything line up. And as we've said in class before many times, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, knees above ankles, everything in alignment, so gravity pulls down evenly through your joints. We're going to begin with some basic stretching, standing movements, and we'll later move down to the floor where we'll do some seated forward bends. And if you are seated on a chair and unable to get up, as some of my students are limited in their movement, please feel free to stay on your couch or chair, move your arms, move the legs as much as you can, and try it out. You'd be surprised on how much you can do on your own that you thought you couldn't do anymore. And that's what I hear from my students. Standing in Tadasana, the basic mountain pose, pressing down through the soles of the feet, lengthening your spine, reaching up through the crown of your head, and now paying attention to the tip of your nose and pulling the air up the nostrils, down your throat, and visualize the air, the oxygen traveling throughout your bloodstream. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling either through the nose or through the mouth. And when you're exhaling, you can make a sound like ha from the back of your throat. Tighten your belly muscles. And inhaling, loosening, letting go of the belly muscles. the abdominal breath in yoga. So bring your hands together. Remember, elbows to hips. Inhaling up. Slowly turn the palms up. And exhale, palms down and lower. So we'll just begin to warm up the shoulder muscles, the upper arms. Inhaling up. Palms up and press. And come down. And let's separate the fingers slowly and let gravity pull your heavy arms and hands down to your sides. And bring your fingertips to your shoulders, elbows as close as you can get them together. Keeping this at shoulder height. Inhale, bringing your wings back. Exhale, elbows together. Breathe in and out. Bring the palms together. I'll turn a little bit, trying to keep the elbows together, palms together. I'm going to bring the arms forward and then back. And this you'll really feel, bringing the arms up, breathing in and down. So you can feel the shoulder blades moving. So you're toning up the muscles of the upper back. Interlace your fingers, bring them underneath your jaw. And then inhale, stretch the fingers as you bring the elbows up. And exhale. Inhaling. Bring the arms down. Remember, elbows to hips. Release the hands, palms turned inward, and rotate the right shoulder back. And then the left. And then alternate shoulders coming forward. And your neck and shoulders, upper back. You might feel some warmth now. You may feel a little bit looser. And then long arms, but reaching back as much as you're reaching forward. So you're keeping your shoulders above the hips. You're not swimming the crawl. More like airplane propellers. And bring the arms down, shake the shoulders out, shake the hands, the arms, shake one foot and then the other. And just with the feet separated a bit, I'd like you to just sway from side to side to warm up the knees and ankles. And don't bring the knees farther than the toes. Check again, elbows to hips, jaw retracted. All of this for healthy joints to increase and then maintain your range of motion. So another one for toning the upper arms. I'm going to bring the arms out in T position, palm down. Turn one palm up and then the other. Make a box and then a box. And drop down and extend outward, palms down. Palm up, box, box. Try to keep the arm up, the elbow up at shoulder height. You're going to feel this in your upper arms and release. Right here, you really feel it. And then lower and extend. And extend. Flatten your hands, pressing your fingers together. Flex at the wrist, take a deep breath. Contract your belly as you exhale and push out as if you were pushing the walls away, keeping the shoulders down, the arms at shoulder height, parallel to the floor. You'll begin to feel a little tingle in your palm. It'll move up into your fingers. Then release and let everything float down. Some warm-ups for the lower back. So I'm going to stand with the feet, maybe about 2 feet apart, toes turned outward slightly, and turn to one side. Walk the hands down. Now, trying to keep your hips right in the middle of the 2 feet. Slide down as much as you're able. If you can only come down halfway, that's fine. Then let your head hang. If you feel that you're swinging more to one side than the other, try to even it out. And with your back flat, unhinge upward. Shoulders above hips, and then turn to the other side and come down as much as you're able. If you find that you're moving your bottom out beyond the mat, try to bring your weight slightly forward. Let the head hang. And again, flatten the back, lengthening the neck, and come up, back to center. I'm going to stay with the feet apart, maybe even a little bit farther apart, and palms up. Left palm up, and lean to one side. Inhaling center, and going to the other side. And back to center, and continue. And back to center, and lower the arms. Now we'll add a twist. Arms out in T position. You're standing in the star. I'm going to twist right, so I bend my left knee, and turn my head and look over the right arm, and come back to center. So you're doing this slowly and with awareness, not over twisting the neck. And we've done some neck warm-ups and upper back warm-ups. Usually I'll just turn and look right to the side, but since we've already warmed up a bit, I'm doing the complete turn. And once more on each side. Of course, on your own, you could do this much more slowly, but I wouldn't go any faster. And release the arms. And then a third movement. So, beginning with star, we're going to breathe in, and then exhale, left hand to right leg. and coming up on the in-breath, and exhale, right hand to left leg. Now, if you find that you're pushing your tush out, try to keep your weight more evenly balanced. And also, if you're feeling a little bit looser, you can come down, reach farther down the legs. So work your way down gradually. So as you can see, I'm coming all the way down to my ankle, but you may still be at your knee, which is fine. Remember, I've been doing this a long time, and I have warmed up a bit. So don't criticize yourself if you can't do it. I have students who can do postures that I can no longer do, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. You do what you are able, and then you try to do a little bit more. And come back up to center. So that was pretty brisk, and if you want to try it on your own, you might want to go a little bit more slowly. So if we combine the three, we start like so. A side angle, back to star, and a side angle, always back to star. And then twist to one side, come back to center, twist to the other side, back to center, fold, crossing over to one leg, and come up, fold to the other leg, and come up. And we'll repeat. And again. So we're going to hold just a little bit longer on each side. Keep your gaze forward. Don't drop your eyes. Remember, as you're turning, you're looking over the shoulder. You can even look to the corners of your eyes. And one more time. Now either heel toe inward or step your feet back together. Back into Tadasana. Hands to the heart. Close your eyes and breathe. Scan your body. Notice if you feel warmed up. If there's some areas that still feel tight. Make any adjustments that you need to, that you're standing with the joints all aligned, your weight evenly distributed over the soles of your feet. And your breathing is deep. The in-breath is deep, your out-breath is extended. We're going to take a short break and we'll resume on the floor. So Cherryblossom Yoga will be back in just a moment.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Cherryblossom Yoga. We're going to do some seated forward bends. It's called Paschimottanasana. So this helps stretch out the lower back muscles and the backs of your legs. And if you're seated, you might try it with your legs straight out. So it's a hip hinge. You're just bringing the shoulders forward, but keeping your back as straight as possible. So we'll begin with the hands at the heart. I like to link my thumbs, and I want my shoulders right up above the hips. Now if I drop back, and I'll turn so you can see, a lot of people start out like this. So you need to roll up onto your sit bones, thinking about keeping the pelvis straight up. And it takes a little bit of work until those muscles get accustomed to that. But it's all part of good posture. So we'll start with the hands at the heart, thumbs linked, breathe in. Feet about hip distance apart. Exhaling, dive down. Inhale up, hands above the head. Now when you exhale, pull the belly in, hinge forward, but stop about 18 inches above your toes. Inhale up, deep breath in, lift the rib cage up, and exhale, pulling the belly in, hinging forward. Once you get to that spot where you're above the feet, now reach. Just reach forward, don't come down anymore. So inhaling up. And the third time down, we are going to reach. We're going to reach with the back straight, belly pulled in. Now I can reach all the way over my toes. Some of you are going to reach to your knees, to your shins, maybe your ankles. Just do what you're able to do. The feet are flexed. If your feet are pointed, it's going to be much harder. So I'm going to lower my head just a little. I'm looking at the space right between the 2 feet and bringing my attention to the lower back. And as I exhale, I allow gravity to pull me down a bit, which means you need to let go a little bit. And breathing. And breathing and sinking a little more. Letting the stretch happen naturally. And if you can, after a while, you might be able to move your hands down the outside of your feet. Remember, the arms are still parallel to each other. Might even come down a little bit more. Now I'm actually pulling because I feel comfortable stretching the lower back. Don't lift the chin up. You'll get a kink in your neck. Now, you can either uncurl upward or you can bring the hands back together between your feet. Lift the arms up alongside of your ears. Inhale up. Deep breath in and a long out breath. Bringing the hands to your heart. This is one of those postures I think really warms and energizes the body. So we're going to do another version. I'm going to move this is my right leg, your left leg out, and bend the left knee So I'm going to actually turn the foot forward a little, tucking the toes under the thigh and lining up the heel with the perineum. If this is not comfortable for you, then leave your leg out or adapt it for yourself. Inhale and exhale. And coming forward and reaching. And coming up. And lowering again and reaching for the foot, letting the shoulders sink, lower the head, not too much. Feel the stretch in the back of the leg. This is also good for the knee that's bent, the ankle. And we're going to come up and switch to the other leg. Again, rotating it forward slightly, sitting tall, turning, breathing in and out, diving down and up. And aiming above the foot and reaching, trying to keep the bent knee down. Ears between the arms. And inhale up. And this time go for it. All the way down or as far as you can go. And then lower the head so the ears are just above the arms or between the arms. And exhaling, and I can feel myself stretching out. If you can let go with your mind, you can sink into this a bit more. And come back to center. And pause. And breathe. Elbows in toward the hips. Crown of your head reaching up. Pressing down through the sit bones. Visualizing your pelvis straight up and down. The breath entering your body, nourishing every cell in your body. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling wonderful, and I hope you can carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, and into your life. Namaste.